Hi and welcome back. I'm Nick Thomas at the Academy of Historical Fencing, and today I'm going to be talking about cutting to the outside or to the inside of the leg. So on the last video I did talking about lines, we discovered that this is our inside and that is our outside, and therefore we're going to be talking about whether the leg cut comes here to the inside or here to the outside. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is it's a common mistake that's made when people train with the Roworth system or the tailor lessons, because there's a lot of leg cuts in those exercises and people have a tendency to do the wrong one, and it's because it's more instinctive to do the wrong one. And when I say the wrong one, it's absolutely legitimate to do an attack either side, and there's no reason why you shouldn't, but you want to understand the strengths and weaknesses of each one and also understand which one, Roworth, tailor, we're actually talking about. So what most people do when you tell them to attack the leg is they do this, which is a cut 5. And the reason they do it is because it's instinctive, it's natural, it's powerful. That's fine. Those are all good reasons to use that cut. And, you know, the inside leg, it is a real vulnerability. You've got femoral artery and stuff like that there. You could do some real damage if we were actually using sharps. So it would be a good target to aim for. Fair enough. But Roworth says that it's a cut to the outside of the leg. In all the diagrams on the Angelo poster, it's shown that way as well. And it's not explained necessarily why, but I'd say I can tell exactly why, and that is to do with protecting you. And that is, again, through all the lessons I've worked through with Roworth, it's always about covering the lines, protecting yourself, a smaller range of movement as you can possibly get, stay safe, it's the art of defense. Okay, so we don't take risks. And when we strike the leg with the supposed wrong one in quotations, we are quite exposed and vulnerable. And if for any reason we stop at this point and have to go to a parry or something like that because the opponent's responded in a way that we didn't expect and we have to go to a defense, well, if you've actually powered it through, you're not easily going to be able to get to one. And if you are able to stop it, you're going to come up into this position here, which there's no hanging guard like this in Roworth, but it's a half circle position, and that is really, really weak. Half circle is weak at the best of times, and it's really not where you want to be in the end of a lunge position, getting messed up there. So that will often lead to, particularly with stirrup hilts, you getting hit straight on the hand. So that's really not ideal. And if you need to redirect anywhere, it's in a really rubbish position. Whereas if we did a cut 6 to the outside and we stop for any reason, we are in a hanging position, which is about the strongest thing we can possibly be in. So at any time we stop it, with this the tiniest of tip movements, we're in a strong position. The ward iron is out there protecting us right in front, and we can very easily go into any one of these hanging guard positions and protect all angles. And of course, into the Guard of St. George as well. Because when you go over somebody's leg, the likelihood is they're going to try and bop you straight on the head or the extended arm, because that's kind of universal to most forms of swordsmanship. It comes up all the time, is that when somebody goes for the leg, you withdraw it and either cut or thrust against an exposed target. And that's simply because when you only have one sword, nothing in this hand, and you want to strike to the leg, there is no way to protect the high openings, the arm and the head, and also the chest to some degree as well. So the auto response in most systems when somebody goes to the leg is pull it out the way, stab or cut them. It's really, really basic. So if people have trained that, which they should have, when you do go for the legs, they're going to be trying to bop you on the head, quite hard probably. So there's a lesson there. One, leg shots are very dangerous, and they always are very dangerous. There are ways to set them up to make them safer, but they are simply dangerous. You should develop ways to use them, but you should most specifically be developing ways to defend against them. So yeah, get the leg shots in there, but really work the leg defense. And we have gone through that on the previous lessons. Going back to the inside versus outside leg cut. So yeah, people instinctively do this one, and you can power it through straight back into a Guard of St. George or a hanging guard, and that is a fast snapping action. But it relies on the fact that you are powering it through. There's no stopping that cut. And this is, you know, an infantry sabre, so it's not got too much mass go with anything heavier again, and it's going to be even harder to stop. So that relies on the fact that you're definitely powering it through. Whereas in Roworth, we want to be able to stop our cut realistically and come to the parry if we want to, and make sure that we're protected at all times. So there you have it. The inside cut is instinctively more powerful, and it's the kind of thing most people will think to do with the leg cut anyway. But yeah, it's more powerful. It does go to some real weak points in the human body, but it has a weakness as far as Roworth's system is concerned, and therefore I think that's why he always chose the outside cut. So the outside protects the hand and the arm more, and it allows you to go to a strong parry if anything goes wrong. That said, if you can get away with inside shots to the leg, then good. I mean, I do occasionally use one myself, which is a bit cheeky, and that is I throw what looks like it's going to be a really heavy cut to the head to bring people into something like a hang-in or a high inside guard. So what I will usually do is a rotational throw like this to really oversell it. So this is a feint, and I know I haven't done a video on feints yet, but it'll be coming soon, is I will power it up and do this. So a big rotational cut that makes it look like I'm going for their head, and then as they go up into their parry, is I redirect and sweep down to the leg. It is absolutely a dangerous thing to do. Again, attacking the legs is always dangerous, but if you can set it up and sell it well with good feints, they can work. But if people get good at their timed shots, where they'll just go straight down the middle, so they'll see that come in, they'll move the leg, cut or thrust straight to a high target zone, you're going to get absolutely obliterated. So I consider it a risky but cheeky shot that I have a bit of fun with. Would I necessarily risk it if we were doing it for real? Probably not. But it's an interesting one. So yeah, there's your cuts to the leg against the inside and the outside. And yeah, I would absolutely recommend, according to this system, go to the outside of the leg. One last thing to mention, of course, is that if you then did have anything in this hand, like a dagger, buckler, shield, then that changes things completely, and it's not surprising that you see so many more leg shots once you've got something in this hand, because simply, once you've got something in this hand, you're able to parry and cover, so you can lock, trap, or just have it there to defend whilst going to the low openings, and the low openings can often be hard to parry when you've got something small. So yeah, absolutely, when you get to paired weapons, the leg shots are just so much better and safer to do. So there you have it. When you do your leg shots, do cut 6 for this system, which is this one. You can also go into more of a cut 4 position and do it like this. And that's in many ways quite nice, because it again puts the guard, the ward iron, up into a position where they're likely to countercut. So you can do your cut 4 against the leg instead of a flatter cut 6. So that is an interesting one as well. Can you just do descending cuts? Could you do a cut 2 onto the outside of the leg? Absolutely you can. Again, you're just exposing the hand because you're essentially giving it to your opponent. So if they time you, you really are stuffed. Whereas if you've gone to a 6 or a 4, the guard's in a much better place to defend you. So again, your choice. But certainly as far as Roworth is concerned, the Taylor lessons, it's a cut to the outside. Anyway, there's leg shots for you. Use them sparingly, but definitely use them. And absolutely spend a lot of time defending against them, or practicing your defences against them, so you don't get sniped on the leg. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already.